Hello guys, in this video I'm gonna show you how you can find the product of these three integers x, y and z, and you can see the system of equations. And yeah, if you wanna solve this problem on your own, you can do it. Just you can pause the video because I'm gonna solve it in 3 2 1 start. So yes, first we wanna see that we cannot find exactly how much x, y and z are, because for example 7, we can't find how much 7 is, because we know that, let's say, 2 to the power of 2 is equal 4 and 2 to the power of 3 is equal 8. That means 7 isn't x isn't integer, because we see that there is no space between 2 and 3. So that means we will use logarithms, because that's how we gonna solve this problem. So yes, first let's delete that. And the same with y, we can see that there is no integer which is true for 7 to the power of y, which is 3. So yeah, it there is something called logarithms, which I'm gonna show you how they work. First, we know that x is equal to logarithm 2 base 2 of 7. What this means? When we have that 2 to the power of x is equal to 7, x is the same as logarithm base 2 of 7. That's how it works. Okay, I'm gonna show you with the others. Y, with the same logic, is gonna be logarithm base 7. It's called base 7 because we power 7 to some power, which is y, and that's of 3. That means which power of 7 is equal to 3, that's gonna be y, and that's logarithm base 7 of 3. And that's gonna be the same with z. Z is gonna be logarithm base 3, because we power 3 to power z of square root of 0.125. Now we have that, but what we are gonna do, I'm gonna show you. First, we wanna multiply these things. I'm gonna multiply it by sets, by pairs. First, I'm gonna multiply x and y, because I chose that because I can see that 7 repeats with that, and that's something in common which we can notice. So that's why I'm gonna multiply x and y, because we have the same numbers there. But okay, look, now we got logarithm base 2 of 7 times logarithm base 7 of 3. And yeah, you can see these are in zigzag, because you know there is 7 and there's 7, but one is the top, the other is on the bottom. And now we can use that formula, which is really helpful in this case, that logarithm base a of b times logarithm base b of c is the same as logarithm base a of c. It's so simple. You just can remove that and use this and this and just combine them into this, and that's formula which is working. So now we see that x times y is this, and that we can use the formula which is logarithm base 2 of 3. Okay, now we have this, and we want to multiply it with z. Now x times y times z, now the whole product is equal to logarithm with base 2 of 3 times logarithm. Look, now we got base 3, so you see where we are going, because 3 is the same with 3. And now we're gonna use literally the same formula, which we're gonna use right now. Now you see, you can remove this, how we have done there, and we got that this is equal to logarithm of base 2 with of square root of 0.125. we got that. Okay, now how I said logarithms work like that. So we wanna find this, which seems hard, but not that hard. So look, let's say the p is a number which comes from product, and that's gonna be this. And wait, now we wanna say p is logarithm with base 2 of this, and that means that 2 to the power of p is the same as square root of 0.125, like that. And now we see this number and we think it's really hard, but it's not hard because 0.125 is just the same as 125 over 1000. That's the same because we move the 0, like with this 0 we just move the 0 3 times because 1 2 3, you know. And that's gonna be, now we can notice that 1000 is divisible by we can divide 1020 and 125 and we got 8, you know, we got 8. So that means now we have that this is gonna be 1 over 8. And yes, now we can use this, that 2 to the power of p is equal to the square root of 1 over 8. And now we can see that 8 is just 2 to the power of 3, and that's gonna be useful because the base here is 2 and we wanna transform this to something 2 to the power of something. So yes, now we're gonna use this. Now we're gonna say 2 to the power of p is the same as square root of 2 to the power of 3. Now we just can square root both sides, and we're gonna say that 2 to the power of 2p, because when we square root when we multiply 2 to the power of p times 2 to the power of p is the same as 2 to the power of 2p, because we just add them up. And yes, also that's gonna be the same as 2 to the power of 3. Now we see really easy equation because the bases are the same 2. We're gonna remove them, and that means that 2 to the power of p, which is the product still, we're gonna say that p is gonna be 3 over 2, which is gonna be 1.5. That's our answer, how we solve this problem. And yes guys, if you like the video, you can like and subscribe, and see you in the next video.